This is a must win. Ilia Topuria is officially fighting for the vacant lightweight championship. He vacated his title. He is no longer a champion, but still one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world, as him and Islam Makhachev have been going back and forth over the last couple of days after Islam vacated his title, now moving up to welterweight, seemingly not fighting Ilia Topuria. So this is one of the highest stakes matchups, probably the most in Ilia's career up until this point. So we need to talk about Ilia Topuria.
But before we get into that, we're Punch Talk and are bringing you guys daily combat sports videos, so if you enjoy the content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel. Ilia Topuria has been on an absolutely legendary streak in the UFC, racking up some absolutely crazy wins at featherweight, dominating the likes of Bryce Mitchell, Josh Emmett, Alexander Volkanovski, and Max Holloway, those last two, some of the greatest featherweights of all time, and went out there and starched them, knocking them out brutally. And what he's done in such a short amount of time is truly incredible, and what's even more incredible is that he's moving up to lightweight to have a chance to claim that second belt, to make history, become a two-weight world champion. And although it wasn't the super hype matchup against Islam Makhachev, which we will get more into a bit later, it's still a massive fight in a huge fan favorite of Charles Oliveira, and this is an absolute must win for Ilia. He's been talking the talk, and up to this point he's been backing up all that talk, but now he's got to do it again. He's been going at Islam for him claiming that Islam ran away from him, he didn't want the challenge, and saying that Charles is going to get stopped in the easiest way possible. So if he's able to do it again and claim this lightweight belt against a very tough guy, former champion in Charles Oliveira, he's well on his way to go down as one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Ilia Topuria is now saying that Charles Oliveira has to pay that price, and what a 3-fight win streak that would be for Ilia Topuria if he's able to get this done against a former champion in Charles Oliveira who defended his title before, was a reigning champion for a while in replacement after Khabib retired, before Islam came into the picture. That would be Volk, Holloway, Oliveira, 3 wins back to back to back against all-time greats in the featherweight and lightweight divisions. But so far he is unproven at lightweight, but we know the skills that Ilia does possess. He did call out Islam Makhachev for being the biggest hypocrite he has ever seen, in his own words, as Islam vacated that title, saying Ilia is not deserving of his belt, and then going up to welterweight when Islam has had no fights there either. But granted, Islam did have 3 more title defenses than Ilia Topuria. That was just the fight everyone was clamming for, but it's not like Islam Makhachev went and fought a lesser or a bad opponent. Like, he's going up and fighting at welterweight against Jack Della Maddalena, who's a bigger guy than Topuria, who just beat a well-rounded guy in Bilal Muhammad, who's a great wrestler. So that's definitely a tough night out for Islam Makhachev, and I would even give Jack a better chance than most people are giving him credit for going into that fight. I feel like he can get that upset. So it's not like Islam went and fought lower level competition. It's just that we all wanted to see that fight, this rivalry. Both guys haven't been seeming like they were on a crash course for so long now since Ilia vacated that title, but it just didn't happen. Ilia Topuria now calling Islam Makhachev mentally broken going into welterweight, pretty much just saying he left the division when I was here, he left it out of fear. And obviously that's what he's got to say to keep building the fights, to hopefully maybe get that Islam Makhachev fight down the line still, as he even teased that he could potentially move up to welterweight one day, which way too soon. He's barely even fought at lightweight only one time on short notice years ago against Jai Herbert, so we still got to see him at lightweight. He's still got to conquer that division before even thinking of moving up to welterweight, but that would be a huge jump for such a short guy and stocky guy in Ilia Topuria to be going up and fighting 170 pounders who are naturally probably like 200 pounds. That would be very tough, but we did see Conor McGregor do it pretty much in his prime when he was fighting Nate Diaz, but that wasn't for the championship, that wasn't at the elite level, and that's way too much right now for even Ilia Topuria.
Yeah, and speaking of Conor McGregor, a lot of people like to make that comparison now, of course with some of the talk that both of them did coming up the ranks and becoming a superstar, as well as coming from featherweight, dominating there, and then moving up to lightweight and claiming another belt. We'll see if Ilia can do that, but honestly I think Ilia has the potential to potentially be the biggest star in the sport since McGregor. Another thing even you see him doing is learning English, which is a really important step to being able to garner all audiences. You can still be a massive star even without that, like an Alex Pereira, but knowing English too and being able to interact with fans and trash talk like Ilia is doing is gonna be huge for for him in his career, and that's just another reason why this is a must-win fight for him against Charles. This has all the makings to create Ilia into an even bigger star than he already is, and can really shape him out to be the new face of MMA, of the UFC. I'd still say it's too early to say, and Ilia definitely does have his haters for his style and people calling him cocky, him being brash. So of course it's not everyone's cup of tea, but you can't deny what the man is doing. He's talking that talk, and he's been knocking out opponents in brutal fashion, and it's not like they're just no names either. This is Alexander Volkanovski, this is Max Holloway. So it's very impressive, especially with Ilia only being 28 years old, creeping up on his prime probably now. So with him being undefeated 16-0, looking to become 17-0 against Charles, it's a massive legacy defining moment for him. And honestly, when you look at the fight stylistically, I think this matches up very well for Ilia, being that he has that boxing heavy pressure style moving forward, and we've seen Charles Oliveira get caught, get clipped a lot of times in previous fights. It's not like Charles has no chance. He's going to be way bigger and lengthier than Ilia, has arguably the greatest submission game of all time, is an insane finisher, so it's definitely a dangerous task for him, and that's just why this fight is so huge and has all the makings to create Ilia into such a household name coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you could say what you want about Ilia Topuria's confidence and his cockiness and his brashness and all the trash talk, but at the end of the day, the self-belief in him has taken him this far in the sport, got him to the point where he was putting world champion in his bio before even fighting Volkanovski, then going out there, starching him in 2 rounds in brutal fashion. Now Volkanovski's holding that title at featherweight, so it's not like Volkanovski is completely past it, completely done. He's still champion. Obviously, he's not in his prime anymore by any means, but he just did beat a young, hungry contender in Diego Lopez. And as corny as some people may think it is, Ilia's kind of manifested this rise, manifested his greatness in the sport. If he's able to continue this momentum, beat Charles Oliveira, one of the greatest lightweights of all time after Khabib, after Islam, after those guys, that would be a tremendous feat. And I feel like with the way both guys are talking, it's still kind of seeming like all roads kind of lead to a possible Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria fight eventually. If they both continue winning, maybe Islam gets that 170 title, maybe Ilia gets that 155 title. Islam wants to come back, claim what's rightfully his. He says, get one win first and then I'll see you. So that could be possible if Ilia does beat Charles. That would mean he has some of the greatest wins that Islam has on his record. Who are Islam's best wins? Volkanovski and Charles Oliveira. Those would be the same wins that Ilia has if he's able to get past Charles at UFC 317. So it could still be in the pipeline, and who knows, maybe it not happening right now, maybe us not getting that instant gratification can make that fight even bigger, even more of a mega fight down the road if both guys continue this momentum, as it seems like they have been for the last couple of years. Both guys at the top of the pound for pound list. But regardless, Ilia Topuria has all the stakes on him, all the chips on this fight. It's a must win. He has to get past Charles Oliveira if he wants to continue this momentum, because if he loses here, it's going to be hard to get that stock back, that hype back, at least in the sense of this aura of invincibility. He's undefeated, he's never lost, never even really faced too much adversity at the top level in his career. Got knocked down, got dropped once at lightweight against Jai Herbert so many years ago on short notice. But other than that, Ilia has just looked incredible and nothing seems to be stopping him. So if he can continue this rise, he can become the face of the UFC. But let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Can Ilia beat Charles Oliveira? But if you guys enjoyed and want to see more MMA content, check out why Jerkis vs. Comes Up will not end well on screen now.